Amen.
Yeah,
So
but I mean,
tell us about yourself.
no, sorry, my throat. First of all, I'm a little bit sick, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I would love to. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm from South Africa. I am full time in the Web3 space. I'm blessed enough to be able to do that, and I'm the marketing director for Elysium currently. And beforehand, I came from crypto side of things. Nothing huge, nothing too exciting. No crazy backstory there. From Web3 side of things, and then Web2, I was managing high-end fashion retail brands within South Africa. But I ditched that to do this full time. I'm loving it. I made the right decision. But yeah, I mean that's me. And then maybe just a quick brief intro. We have three of our core team members would be within Romania. One of those core team members is actually a whole entire studio that's working with us. The design studio that's developing the game. That's a fully, and in total, we're a team of 26 fully docked people working behind the scenes for the game.
Man.
Yeah, so that's that. Excuse me. That's pretty much the entire team over there. And we obviously have the mods spread out throughout the world. But yeah, it's it's a static VFX. Probably one of the best studios within Romania. They've worked on things that probably one of the most popular ones is Ant-Man that they worked on. Uh, One of the most reputable movies that they worked on.
Yeah, it's not a small project, man. That's
Yeah,
that's a pretty big name.
yeah, no, it is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the team that's working behind the project itself.
How long ago did you get into Web3 full time?
Yeah, well, officially full time, it's pretty much been since the beginning of March. Um, when I quit my job officially, like I left them entirely. But I've been involved in the space for a good couple of months, probably since late sometime last year. I can't remember the exact date. You kind of on and off, and then you just like shit. Let me just stay in here, and then you get to the place where you just ditch your job and do it full time.
You just get to the point where you're like, well, I guess I just fucking do this now.
Yeah, man, and it's such a meme. The job, I mean, this if anybody who works in a space knows that it's a meme to work in a space. Like, there's no ways you can explain it to your parents, to your friends, to anybody. Like, ask like, hey, what do you do? Like, man, I can't even begin to explain to you what I do.
Yeah, that's I get that. I've just boiled it down to at this point. I just tell my girlfriend's family, they're like, "So are you still trading bitcoins?" I'm like, "It's a tech startup. It's just a tech startup."
I love that, man. I love that's probably. I think I heard somebody say they're financial advisor. I think that's the other thing that people use. But besides that, I don't. I can't think of anything else that could simplify what we do.
DGen.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
Sometimes there's no point even trying to explain, is there?
I completely agree with that, man. The Uma points. I'm quite young myself, and all my friends, whenever they try to comprehend like what I do or what the amount of funds that go within the space, not even just involved with me, but just in general, like the amount of money if you have to, especially if you uh, compare to the South African currency rands, like it's insane. Like what you could, what how much money. I mean, if you just had to talk about the Yuga lands land sale, and you see that there's $100 million burned in just gas, uh,
Oh,
how do you
dude.
begin to explain that to somebody? Like they're like, "What's gas? Like, are you guys flying fucking to Mars?" Like $100 million. That's insane, man.
What do you use the gas for? Oh, we're going to the moon. It's just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's amazing at the same time to do what we do, isn't it?
For sure. Tell us a little bit about your guys' project over there. It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, man. Absolutely love to. Thanks for this opportunity once again. Yeah, I mean, where to start? We're essentially we're building a PT game that's that's supposed to be entertaining, as well as leaving a lot of space for expansion of the game as well. We're building it in stages, or otherwise known as seasons, to keep our players entertained, but also progressing throughout the game as well. Pretty much updating, adding a whole bunch of new features, and this would then be a good time to mention that the functionality of season 1 is ready to go. So we have our mint coming up in a week, and immediately post mint, after the public sale, we're gonna have functionality of season 1 up and running and ready to go. So that's probably the most exciting part about the project, and a key point that makes us stand out quite a bit. So that's the game itself. Maybe I could just touch quickly on the actual gameplay itself. There's two main aspects in the gameplay. One is the staking side. You can call it either staking positions or battle positions, where there's three various positions you can choose, where it's just a defensive position, an offensive position, and an attacking position. Defensive position caters for those that are too busy in the space, that are don't have much time on their hands to participate within the games or learn the gameplay, etc. They simply just stake and earn a base yield based on the rarity of their meta cards. There are 7 different types of base yields based on 7 different types of rarities across the 12 different types of meta cards. And they can just stake it and earn a base yield, and then come collect it whenever they need to. Right? So that's the first position. Your other two positions offer a bit more engagement, where it offers a bit of a risk to reward ratio. One word that could be used is a gamble, but not necessarily. It is a bit more of a strategic aspect to it. We also have a collection being released during season 1 as well, which is a weapons collection that will be mintable via the God token. The weapons collection basically influences your risk to reward ratio. It's kind of like, if you have Zeus, his weapon would be a lightning bolt, for example. That lightning bolt would then increase his chances. I guess that's one way to put it, in a staking battle, therefore yielding more God token. There we go. So that's one way to put it. So that's kind of a strategic play. There's also potions being involved, and so there's a bit of thought process in which position you can stake and unstake on a daily basis, changing your battle position based on your risk to reward structure that you're willing to take over there. That's just a bit of a brief of the one gaming aspect, the gamified aspect of the game. It's just that. Then we hop over to the other side, which is a tournament aspect. The tournaments are based. You need God tokens to enter the tournaments. First off, it's a God token entry fee. So if you haven't understood thus far, you need a stake in order to play, to enter the tournaments. Tournaments last for 5 days, 2 days break, happen on a weekly basis. And at the end of the tournaments, the leaderboard, there's a leaderboard structure. The leaderboard would then share the prize pool of the God tokens, as well as various other prizes ranging from loot boxes that include the other prizes, which could be whitelist spots. I mean, just as an example, for our community, we've gotten little Jiras, we've got a Llamaverse, we've got a Flipper, 3 very hyped up projects at the moment. NFTs, a good example would be a Kaiju Kings. We teased that to our community as well, which it went crazy about the other week. There could be Ether prizes as well. And then obviously the God token pool, the pool of God tokens as well, that could be spread amongst the leaderboard. So that's where the tournaments come in. During each day of those 5 days, there's daily quests to complete. And then upon completion, you'll rank up in the leaderboard. And you also need to combine your weapons, your potions, etc., to get the various staking positions. And essentially, you're fighting against Titans. The Titans represent evil. And I just kind of flooded a heap of information on you guys, but that's pretty much, believe it or not, that's the brief version of our game. So that's pretty much the two main gamified aspects. Is there any questions based on that, or would you like me to continue?
Oh, dude, I'm a big gamer. I got plenty of questions. Let's go.
Sweet, man. You're more than
Let me
welcome
see if
to
the
bring them on.
community's got some, so I don't overtake everything here. Any questions? Nope, nobody else does so far. All right, dope. So you mentioned like seasons. Now, associated with those seasons, will there be? Are you familiar with PoE, Path of Exile?
Could you say that again? Sorry, you just cut out there. Familiar with what?
Path of Exile, PoE.
I, I'm not familiar. I know this is kind of weird. I'm not a huge gamer myself. I'm kind of more of your. I'm an Age of Empires. I'm a Clash of Clans. I'm that type of gamer, you know.
Oh, right on, right on. So what PoE does is they also do seasons.
Yeah,
And I mean World of Warcraft has also developed seasons as well, where like they'll
yeah.
change certain things depending on the season. How do the seasons affect the game?
Ours is actually quite a big difference. Season one, all the gameplay that I just mentioned is sorry, let me just cough quickly. I don't want to cough while everybody.
Yeah, you're all right. No worries, dude.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So season one is basically all the aspects that I mentioned now. Season two's development's actually 50% finished already. We want to get these things up and running for our community. You know, that's pretty much what we're aiming at. Our studio is working around the clock to get everything up and running. They are actually a part of the founding team, so they have a stake in the success of the project. So this is pretty one of the driving factors as well. In any case, season two, we have a yet another collection coming out, which is going to expand our game. It's a land and buildings collection, which obviously opens opportunity for collaborations. It also it's going to allow users to kind of it's kind of uh, I'm trying to think how to put it. Yeah, well, anyways, I'll think of a simple way to put it now. But with the land and buildings, you're allowed to rent, buy, sell the lands as well. So it's going to add a bit more of an interactive aspect to that. And then eventually, 3 or 4 seasons down the line, we're going to become an open world RPG game. So that's the ultimate goal. It's the ultimate vision. We're hoping our community will be on the same road as us. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't want to go in that direction. But that's pretty much the ultimate season where they're going to be playing with their meta gods. They're going to be able to walk around with them, have an immersive experience. This experience that we're providing now for season one is more of a strategic experience and not more of a first person, like a shooter type experience. But that we want to go in that direction where you're going to be able to play with your meta god, you know, use their weapons, become a PvP open world game. So that's hopefully 4 seasons down the line. But for season one, this is pretty much what we've got. So you can hear there's going to be a huge change from season one to season four, for example.
So I saw a bit of the gameplay on the website, or the initial gameplay it looked like on the website.
Yeah.
Seems kind of like it's, you know, grid style, Dungeons and Dragons. So was it inspired at all through like Dungeons and Dragons mapping, or was it, you know, this is kind of an easy way to start with the mapping and, you know, break down from there?
I personally don't know what the founders. I know I know the theme of the whole project was brought from, you know, the books that they read as children. But the mapping itself, I agree with you. I've got a bit of experience in the Dungeons and Dragons like type of there. It does give that vibe. You're right. I can imagine they took some inspiration from other projects like that. But all I know is that we've got really good feedback from the map, which could be based off of that as well. But there could be some inspiration over there. None that the founders have mentioned in the previous AMAs. But it could, yeah. So I mean, the studio themselves, they're extremely well equipped studio and well experienced, and they're actually new to the gaming industry as well. So they developed a few small games, but this is their first large scale and obviously their first Web3 game. So I think this is kind of a unique style that they're going about that.
Right on. I don't want to hog too much. I can keep asking questions, but let me see. I think somebody else had one. Oh no, somebody was typing. Okay.
Yeah, I can just maybe touch on just before I can maybe touch on a bit more about the tokenomics,
Yeah, yeah,
if you'd
absolutely.
like. Yeah, sorry. Um, Yes, I mean, as I mentioned, we have our God token, which is GOD, the God token, and we will have our marketplace up and running with pretty much about a week after mints as well. So there's going to be a heap of everything just happening within season one as well, to just pretty much entertain users as much as possible. It is going to be originally a web browser game, and from there we can move into the direction in season 3 or 4 if the community is willing to go towards a mobile or a console game. It is all possible. Our studio is more than capable of doing that. And yeah, so within the marketplace, like I mentioned, there's those same prizes that you heard from the tournaments, the whitelist spots, the NFTs, the loot boxes, the ether prizes within the loot boxes, the a couple of Web2 utilities that are going to be announced after the fact as well within the marketplace. That's all going to be all within the marketplace, and then that's all obviously going to be used with the God token. Second big aspect of the God token itself, another utility, will be the collection being released in season 1 as well, which would be the weapons, like I mentioned earlier as well. That is mintable via the God token. So those are pretty much the main utilities towards the God token. Our tokenomics advisor is Wolfie, for those of you that know him, from Godjera. He's currently advising Godjera as well, so he is really well respected within the space too. That's also just kind of a bit of a brief within the tokenomics.
So now, as far as the actual gameplay of it goes, it appears, and this is just from the website, and it's not
Yeah,
necessarily a bad thing, but it appears that it's an auto battler style. Is that accurate?
I'm glad you said that. It does appear like that, and it is like that, and so that's kind of what the idea. Season 1 is not supposed to be like an open world RPG game. Like I said, we've been pretty much in development of the collections for the past few months, trying to get everything. As you notice, we are 3D collection. The reason we are 3D collection is to allow at the end for us to be an open world RPG game where you're allowed to see your characters, use your characters, play with your characters. But for season 1, it is a auto battler, like you say. The strategic part of it, like I mentioned, would be choosing the various staking positions, using the various weapons, completing daily quests. Certain quests are suited to certain meta gods. There will also be, like I mentioned, combining with the weapons, combining with the potions. There will also be creating almost like a sidekick slash pet within using the potions as well, and collecting the certain potions that match up with your meta god as well to create that sidekick slash pet. That's also another aspect that needs to be like a lot of detail provided in that, a bit of thinking and matching up over there too. But yeah, essentially, like you're saying, it is I mean, in simple terms, like you mentioned, it is an automated experience.
So as far as like the weapons goes too, because I saw on the website like you build out like you have the characters, you
Yeah,
select weapons, you select potions. Will
yeah,
eventually there be, because I know the idea is open world RPG
yeah.
eventually, and I'm a big MMO fan. I've been a World of Warcraft gamer up until from when it came out until uh a year and a half, 2 years ago when I started getting like heavy into crypto. I was like, fuck, I don't have time for WoW anymore. Uh so big thing to me as an MMO gamer has always been loot. So with the idea of weapons, with the idea of potions, will any of these items become NFTs or quote unquote loot that you can then possess?
I like where you. Okay, I see where you're going with that. So first of all, the weapons are an NFT collection in its own. So yes, and we did have this in another. We had this discussion in a previous AMA, that project when somebody also asked, like, they suggested, just like you're suggesting or asking now, saying it would be pretty cool to kind of be able to steal an opponent's weapon, like, or they kill their pets or whatever you'd like to call it as well. I then with the team kind of had a discussion of the fact pretty much we would like to go to that direction within season 3, slash season 4. So yes, it definitely is a possibility. It is a high possibility at this moment. Uh, so yeah, we loved that suggestion last time. I love that you brought it up this time, and it'll probably, within the land and buildings, are tied to land and buildings where you'll be able to sell, buy, rent. You'll also be able to claim other buildings as well, almost like claiming loot. So that aspect will be incorporated in the game. It is busy being incorporated within the game.
That was going to be another question too, is land ownership, and so that kind of actually leads into another question and another big part of what makes an MMO very fun to me, which is PvP, so player versus
Yeah.
player. So with it being at first an auto battler or an automated experience, uh, is there plans for eventually being able to go take other, like you said, take other people's items, but more specifically, take other people's land, maybe a ranked battling system and a rated system, perhaps.
Yeah, 100%, my man. We want it to become a PvP. It is currently a PTE, like I mentioned in the beginning, and the community has said they want to go to a PvP direction, and we obviously listen to our community, we listen to our feedback, and I think it's coming in season 3. They pretty much, I mean, because obviously season 2 we had to start developing. We weren't sure that's the direction the community wanted to go in, but after hearing that, we are going in that direction. So season 3, season 4, there will be a PvP aspect to it as well.
Right on. I hear, because there's a bunch of P to E games out there, but PvP to E is a whole other.
Yeah, it's a whole other
Yeah,
aspect.
yeah. That's always been a big part of gaming to me, is that I'm not to sound like an asshole, but I'm better than you. I can beat you, and I can prove it. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love that. Season 1, we, like I said, we are limited in the competitive aspects of things. Like you're mentioning, it's a bit automated. So that's why we do. Sorry, I muted myself there. We do have the leaderboard aspect to it, so there is a bit of competitiveness at the beginning. Not as much as we would like, and not as much as there can be within the PvP. But there will be a leaderboard aspect within the tournaments, and hopefully that will still kind of still what's the word, motivate people to compete with one another.
Any way that I can prove that I'm better than someone else, I'm there for.
Love that. I see there's a South African homie busy asking a question. They're saying really love just for those who haven't read it, really love the concept, but how is the team taking the current market the conditions into account, and will it affect the project funding and sustainability during the bear market? And when special sneak peeks for the monks. I love that. Um, just to answer the question based on Elysium over there. The current, so like I mentioned in the beginning, the studio is a co-founder within the project. So whether we mint out or not, the project is continuing. So that answers the question simply. I mean, just to give a bit of confidence, I mentioned it twice already, just to maybe mention it a third time. We've done over 50 AMAs in the past 2-3 weeks at the moment. We've hopped from AMA to AMA to AMA, doing what we're doing here, spreading the word, gaining feedback, what's the word, stopping out all concerns, etc., etc. We've been on from Neo Tokyo to Gojira to the Ape List to Habibis to we've been on a couple of absolute like awesome communities that's really been cool to connect with, and we've received really good feedback from them all. We're just busy with our wallet collection now. Wallet collection is going extremely well. We're making sure that it's not over allocated within phase 1. It's not an expensive mint, only 0.07, a 5k collection, not out of this world. So we've taken into consideration the current market conditions. Obviously, this week, like we were chatting about, has been the worst week of it all, and we are minting within a week. I would be lying if I said there weren't any doubts. Like, it's just stupid it's just like, yeah, it's just stupid to think that there's a possibility that we might not mint out. But I am confident in the projects. I'm confident in if you have a look at our Discord, we're what we at 16k now, and we have 5k online. It's a good ratio over there. It's a third. We've banned over 17,000 bots. We have an active community. We have a good name within the space. There's a lot of positives looking at us for our collection, and I'm really confident, that we're going to do well. And like I said, if not, the studio is a co-founder. They have a stake in the project. They're going to carry on working up until we do mint out, or up until we make a plan to make the project a success.
You already got to Neo Tokyo. I must have missed that AMA. Unfortunately, I miss a lot of stuff that goes on in Neo Tokyo, but
Nah, it happens, man. It happens. We get busy within the space.
yeah, you already know what it is. Especially saying you're going 50, doing 50 some odd AMAs. We'll
Man, yeah.
we'll link up afterwards, and we'll get you a couple more and under your belt too.
No, that's awesome.
just to for folks that may not know, I know you said 5K collection 0.07, super reasonable size. Love to hear that. To be honest, like I mean, there's plenty of projects in the space. They're like, yeah, we're gonna do a 10K collection at 0.5 ETH mint. You're like, fucking what,
Uh,
dude? But when is the mint?
Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be it's either the 60. We haven't confirmed the date purely just because we wanted to make sure it's the exact date. We're busy collecting wallets now, so we wanted to ensure there was enough time for that. But it's either gonna be the 16th, 17th, or 18th. So it's one of the 3 days. So it is extremely near. It's just around the corner. It's under a week. And yeah, it's coming soon. I mean, I'll just quickly touch on the mint structure. It's basically a phase one mint, otherwise known as guaranteed mint, where it's not over allocated. You'll have an opportunity to mint, and you're allowed to mint 2 MetaGods per wallet, and that'll be within phase one. We'll then move to phase two, which will be a first come, first serve mint for both phase one and phase two roles. And then if that doesn't, I think you can mint up to 4 over then. And then if that doesn't sell out, which the goal is to sell out by then, if that doesn't sell out, public will obviously come, and that will be a 0.09 public mint. I'm pretty confident it'll sell out by phase two. Well, that's kind of the goal. But yeah, that's just a bit about the mint structure there.
Dope. So you still got a little bit of time. Let me see if I can cram you in a couple more AMAs before that time comes.
Yeah,
I'm sure
man,
you're
we
not
got a little
busy or
bit of time.
anything.
Yeah, we've actually how many have we still got up? I mean, we got about 10 still to go. But I mean, there's no such thing as too many AMAs, man. There's really uh, it's the best. And like I said, I am the marketing director for the project, and full transparency. I do believe in full transparency. The first when I came in on January for the project, I think we had a celestial pass mint, which I can touch on a bit later if need be. But it was basically another mint that we had, and then after that we had about 80 ETH. All of that we put back into the development of the project, and we kept some aside. We're like, how should we use this for marketing? We're like, hey, we're obviously still chatting. We're looking at all our options. I think it was also during like a bear week of the market. We're like, hey, how can we get a bit of traction? We reached out to an influencer, not anybody in specific. I don't know who it was, and we tried that out. So paid marketing. We tried one person out, and we're like, we hate this. We're like, we're never doing this again. Brought in a shit ton of people that we don't like. We immediately, what's the word, purged them all. We got rid of them. We got together. We're like, okay, guys, we're never doing this again. What can we do? What's the best way to bring the members that's high quality, engaging members? And these AMAs, man, I mean, they've really been the best decision our project's made thus far. We've met some awesome people. We've connected really, really well. And the community that it brings in is just great. I mean, like I said, we're in Neo Tokyo, from having 320 listeners in Neo Tokyo, and then we hopped into other AMAs with just like 2 listeners. But those 2 listeners ask questions, and that's 2 more members that are engaged, that are almost a guaranteed mint within the project. And I mean, that's probably the best marketing you can do, and it's free. Besides costing your time, it's free.
You take an hour and just go talk to genuine people instead of getting,
Man, there's
200
nothing wrong
bots.
with that.
Like,
There's nothing wrong with that. I genuinely enjoy doing this. I mean, to me, like when people ask what do I do, I say, hey man, I just talk to people for a living.
hell yeah. So what did you do? Just out of curiosity, just to like get to know you a bit. What did you do before diving full time into financial advising, quote unquote?
Yeah, I love that. There is within South Africa, they were like I think I just touched on it very briefly in the beginning. I was saying I was managing high end fashion retail brands within like local South African brands. The last one I worked for, they were called Kingsley Heath. I wonder if the South African homie that I saw earlier would know. Uh, what's his name? Monks, or yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Monks Engineer 420 Shuhari. quite a mouthful there. It's a pretty yeah, it's a good brand within South Africa, and I was helping them out over there. I was managing a couple of their stores. Um, which retail to Web3 is a big difference. and I wasn't doing marketing that side, and I'm glad I came to help out in marketing within the space over here. But yeah, I mean, it was absolutely exhausting being in retail. I hate it. I would never recommend anybody doing it. Anybody that is doing it, probably just doing it for the money because there's no pleasure in retail. So I'm really grateful I got out of that, and I had the opportunity to leave, and I left. PPA, Planetary Property Association, was my first project that paid project to work for, and I just after that I was just like, okay, cool. I'm never going back to retail,
Yeah, retail's a tough business, man. But I'll tell you what, that shit builds character.
man. Like you don't understand, bro. Like it really you don't really have much of a choice but to toughen up. I like I said, I'm pretty young. I kind of graduated from school, and I what we call it in South Africa, we matriculated, and then I went took a gap year, came back, and I just happened to know the right person at the right time, jumped straight into a managerial position, and pretty much retail sucked out. Like it felt like it took out 10 years of my life, even though it wasn't 10 years. But I mean, the toll it takes on you is just insane.
Yeah, I
But
did that for oh god, 6 years, 6 or 7 years.
no,
I worked.
man, and that times that by 10, and that's how many years it took off your life.
Yo, dude, I say that all the time to people. I'm like, yeah, working there probably took about 5, 10 years off my life.
No, honestly, man, honestly.
You guys should try construction then. Think retail's bad?
Yeah, is construction just as bad?
Oh man, it's horrible.
In
You're a
fact, I remember.
slave, a slave for
Wait,
the
where you
man.
from?
Sydney. I'm from Sydney.
Yeah, but I know, like I said, I went to Australia. I know you guys have an awesome pace in Australia, man. I know those miners, anybody that's a truck driver, anybody that's a miner in construction, there's some good money in there. In South Africa, it's a whole different story.
You're not wrong. They've got they've got a lot of unions and stuff, and they look after you. But the cost of
Yeah.
living is also ridiculous.
You're right. You're completely right, and your what's the real estate over there is also insanely. I mean, if you guys had to come to South Africa for a bit, and I see Monk is typing again because my man can relate. If you had to head over this side for a bit, you guys would live the dream. We bring you. I think it's it's 10 rand to the $1 Australian. And I mean, I think your minimum wage over there for construction, I know it's definitely above $20. Should be like probably $30 to $40 an hour minimum. But I mean, in South Africa, you're probably looking at about $2 to $3 an hour minimum.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
we got a
scary numbers,
buddy.
man.
Yeah, you got a buddy that Henry and I have known for quite some time that we did the Neo
Yeah.
Tokyo hunt with actually. Zal TCN. He might be here actually. Let me see. He might be busy. But either way, he's a South African homie, and we always fucking talk about moving his ass, shipping his ass out. And me and another buddy always joke about like, yeah, we got plenty of space in the yard. We'll throw him up in a trailer. He's like, dude, I'm fucking down. Like, he's like, I'm so down. You have no idea.
Man, it's tricky because South Africa, a beautiful country, man. So much good over here, but I mean, it's just so much bad at the same time. The government's absolutely obviously every country has its problems, and I'll never take that away. But I mean, you guys haven't even. I don't even know if you guys told you about load shedding. We have load shedding. The government just straight up cuts out the power.
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
cause.
Zal bitches about
Yeah,
that all the time. He's like, yeah, I gotta get this
yeah.
done before the power goes out. I'm like, Jesus, homie.
No, literally out here on AMAs, the power would just go out. Our cell suppliers, batteries die out, and yeah, and then I lose connection. So it happens, and you
Yeah.
just have to kind of live with it. But there's a lot to complain about, but there's a lot to be grateful for. I mean, I have a cheap cost of living. That's one way to look at it. A beautiful country, beautiful people, uh, lots of diversity. So I mean, there are some pros.
Take the positives with the negatives, right? I mean, like, this is a big thing for like I said, our other South African homie Zal, like getting in this Web3 space where like a lot of stuff's still uh pegged to the US dollar. I mean, less assets are apparently being pegged to it, but
Yeah.
but I mean a lot of it a lot of assets being pegged to the U.S. dollar, I mean, it can make a world of difference for people in different parts of the world. Like Americans, like we take it for granted. Like, yeah, of course it's pegged to the dollar, but like, it can mean a world of difference for some fucking people, man.
Yeah, I mean, your Americans as well, they also struggle. I mean, I know you guys' healthcare system is expensive as fuck, to put it in plain terms.
Yeah. It's yeah. I won't even get into what I've gone through over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like $1,000 for an ambulance ride or some crazy shit like that.
Oh Jesus, what are you getting cheap ambulance rides or something, bro? I don't know where you're getting
Cheaper than a
ambulance rides.
thousand dollars?
Yeah, it's like 5 grand for the wee woo wagon, bro. Fuck that shit. Call an Uber.
That's
What?
insane, man.
$5,000 for an ambulance?
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I gotta get a couple
How's
teeth
it?
pulled. Fucking, I went to the dentist. I gotta get a couple teeth pulled, bro, and get like an implant or two. Shit's gonna cost me 40 grand.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
I got my teeth. I got one of my. I've got two of my teeth pulled. Last year, and there's a dentist, and it's a flat rate dentist. So every procedure is $89 Australian. So it's like,
What?
yeah, so that would be like. So I had two teeth pulled out. It cost me. I had two teeth and a clean. And it cost me like 240 Australian dollars, like 180 US or something like that.
All right. I love you, but
Monks is just gonna quit life. The man's just gonna quit.
yep, I love you, but I really don't like you right now. Uh,
And public in Australia, public health care is free.
Yeah, it's
You
so
don't
good,
pay
man.
for
It's
anything.
so good there. No, nah, you guys have an awesome government. When I lived over there, I mean, honestly, even during COVID times, I know those what's it? Not I wanted to say like supply drops, like the what's the word? Where the government just kind of gave you guys money. What's that?
Oh yeah, like yeah, like support
Stimulus.
basically.
Yeah, a stimulant. Yeah, stimulant. Yeah, that's probably the better word. But
A
anyways,
stimulus, yeah, it was a stimulus
stimulus.
program.
Yeah. So I mean, those were absolutely awesome. I was working with some kids, and I was helping out within a school, and like 18-year-olds just making up the fact that their businesses were affected and would get like 2 grand or $700 a week, and I see they upped it up to like 1.8 thousand, like 1.8. I mean, your government's so generous, man, and the free healthcare. I met a couple of freelancers who literally just kind of they quit all their jobs. They declared themselves unemployed and just traveled the whole of Australia in a van based off the money that your government gave out just because they're unemployed, which is
It's
pretty
crazy.
sick. Yeah,
Yeah, I've got an in real life company that is like tourism hospitality based, and
yeah.
all you had to do was show them your bank balances from exactly 1 year ago, and if you had more than a 40% downturn in revenue, they would give you an income. So in like last year, I ended up collecting like probably around 30,000 American just for showing a bank invoice.
Man, maybe life isn't so bad after all.
I'm actually leaving here soon. I'm leaving here in 7 weeks to go live in Thailand. For that reason, I brought up this morning because it's tax free.
Yeah, I mean, are you full time in the space?
Yes, I do some other things on the side as well, but yeah, I
Pretty
spend
much.
most of my day on Discord.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad decision. I actually got invited. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Nubbies, the project.
Not off the top of my
If
head,
not,
no.
it's fine. They're not huge. I mean, I didn't expect it, but I mean, I know the founder there. He's from Thailand, and he invited me to come live there. And he would get all the papers done, and he would say, I can work for his in real life business as well for full time for his projects. That was a pretty huge opportunity, but I just had a few more things I wanted to do first before I commit to something like that. But I mean, I don't blame you for going to Thailand either, man. It's yeah. He also mentioned the taxes there.
That's the big draw. Apparently, it's becoming like a big crypto hub. All the crypto bros are moving over there, sitting in cafes and that digital nomad life.
Yo, if I did not have a girlfriend that I have to convince to move to Portugal, I would be fucking gone,
Oh,
dude.
100%, bro. Portugal was on the list as well. Just no Thailand.
Yeah, Lisbon
Thailand's
apparently
also
is
close to
surfing
Oz as
capital.
well, so that's also nice that you're close to the home.
Yeah, that's true too. So, now that we've gotten completely fucking off track, uh,
These listeners of the audience is like, what the fuck did I just come into? Oh, why am I
hey,
wasting my time?
you know what, man? Sometimes the hangout sessions is just getting to know people or where it's at. You know what I mean?
I mean, they can put up their hand. They can come hang out with us if they really wanted to.
Yeah, if they got questions, they can interrupt anytime, man. Open mic.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
So, just out of curiosity, what all right, how long's Elysium Metagods been in development, and what is your favorite aspect of the game itself? I'm sure you've gotten some alpha
Um,
play, some beta play, and whatnot.
I've been so busy, but our holders for our pass is for our previous pass, which basically, to brief it real quick in 10 seconds, they basically an early mint opportunity. They get a free meta god mint, they get a free Lansdale mint. They were also able to stake since the beginning of March and earn god token. Those holders of those 400 passes, a couple of them got access to our beta version, so they've actually been playing this. I haven't even spoken to him. I don't even get time to go into our community because I'm on like 5 AMAs on every day. I'm not complaining about that. Just saying I haven't had time to share the actual game feedback. It's not really my area. So yeah. But in any case, the project development itself, the team got assembled in November. A lot of planning, talking. Obviously, we've changed a lot since November, but our Discord was opened in Jan. That's when I joined the team, just as the Discord opened. And then from there, Feb, we had our private sale. March, they staked those passes. And in April and May, we've been organically growing our community, and it's been going really well. So that's pretty much the progress of the project. Like I said, season 1's finished. Season 2 is 50%. Yeah, sorry. And my favorite part of the game, I like the loot boxes, man. I'm a DJ by heart. Those loot boxes are calling my name. I want some ETH. I want the Kaiju Kings. Give it all to me, man. Give it all.
Yeah, I'm about loot. Like you said, being an MMO, a previous MMO G-Gen, I do like me some loots.
Yeah, man. I don't blame you, brother.
So what
But yeah, I mean, sorry, go
no,
ahead,
no,
go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say we touched on a lot of the broad aspects. I couldn't really think. That's why you're about to ask a question, so I was keen to hear what it was gonna be.
Yeah, I'm trying to without
I mean, you really
like
don't need to force any. I mean, we've spoken a lot.
no, because I was gonna start drilling down into like some detail, like mechanic oriented. Like, do you know the algorithm that the combat goes off of, and like essentially asking for cheat codes, like what armor and potions are better, like what gods perform
Oh, I see
better,
what you're
yada
saying.
yada.
I see what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
I like the question. I uh, I obviously don't know like the code and the actual algorithms and stuff. It's completely out of my section. But what I can say is, like I mentioned, there's the different relics, and there's 7 different types of relics or rarities. Each relic has a different base yield. There's obviously higher base yields of the god token itself. I'd essentially just try to grab one of those high. There's only 12 of the rarest one. I'll try to get my hands on one of those. Easy way to earn the god token, simply stake it, have the highest base yield. If you want to involve yourself more, you can. If you want to play it safe, stake that bad boy, earn a high yield, and just sit back and relax and pretty much get to use your god token without any risk. That's always pretty cool. Cheat codes, man. I wish I could have like a bit of like a which god or which potions do better. I think that we actually have what do we have? We have a tokenomics paper coming out soon. That's not gonna really help with cheat codes. So yeah, that wasn't really a good answer. I wish I could answer a bit more accurately there, but I haven't got much info to help you out.
Oh, that's all right. No worries. No worries. You think with when the PvP goes when the PvP aspect of it kind of becomes more of a focus, you think that I know we talked about, taking people's loot, taking people's land. You think you can
Yeah,
be able to fight and actually take people's god token?
man. We spoke about that. I'm pretty sure that's going to be able to happen. I think like it's going to be a similar uh, structure of those who want to participate are going to be able to take each other's god tokens, but those who just kind of want to have nothing to do with the actual game aspect and just want to use the marketplace can just stake in their god token will kind of be safe there. Like nobody can really touch that. But those are more involved, they'll be able to kind of maybe battle and get the god token, or it's like kind of raid each other, almost like I don't want to compare it to Minecraft, but it's a good picture to have in your head. Almost like a Minecraft vibe where you can go raid each other's chests and stuff like that when they're inactive, or like for those who are active participating, when they are inactive, you'll be able to grab some of their loot or something like that.
Yeah, so kind of like an opt-in thing too, so you can't just get juked
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
nowhere.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's a good way to put. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that would suck. You just forget about it. You go on vacation for a week or something. You come back all tan and happy and still kind of drunk. You're like, man, I wonder how my tokens do. What the fuck?
That whole place is just completely raided.
Yeah. Have you played there's a new-ish bot, Dank Memer?
I haven't played it now.
So we got this. All right, I'll tag you in this channel right quick. So it's this bot essentially that's just like it's just another in-game Discord like mini bot, right? And
Yeah.
so part of it is like, you can work and you can rob people and like, essentially it's just that in Discord currency. I took a weekend off like 2 weeks ago. I had like 3 million or whatever this little coin was. I come back, I'm like, oh, what's up with Dank Meme? He's like, oh, you have fucking $0, dude. I'm like, oh, good.
Zero. How do I start off over here? What's the command to start?
So wow, is there a
Press you go PLS and then space
Yeah.
Rob and then at Chinta and then enter.
oh come on.
I swear the
Ta-
man had no money though.
Oh don't worry. I just got some, so I'll
It's his own fault though for not banking it. If he had banked
yeah.
it, pajamas.
I was caught. Oh shit.
Yeah, so
I
that's how
love
Dank
that.
Memer works.
I
And
love that.
you can literally like please meme and like it'll just literally post a fucking random meme.
Next meme. Let's see. Oh, okay.
Please fight stags. Thank you, Delete Our Future, for robbing me. Appreciate you. Yeah, so frog yeah. Yeah, so that's just another fun little one. But yeah, that literally happened. I took a weekend
I
off, I
love
came
that.
back and all my shit was gone.
I
I was
love
like,
that.
God damn it.
That's hilarious.
Well, we're creeping up on the top of the hour here. I'm sure you're a busy fella, so I don't want to keep you around. Anybody else have any other questions for our new friend E-Man here?
I've got one. How many whitelists are you allocating for the monks again? Sorry, I've that info.
Man, I was actually trying to quickly read while we could over there. Let me quickly check what guy, just our last message briefly. Whatever it is,
Memory, I
I'm
think
gonna
it
try.
was 25 for list 1 and 50 for list 2.
Uh, Sweet. What was this? This was yesterday. We are having how many people are in this AMA? I wonder if guy will kill me. How many do we have? 21. Can you guys just take a screenshot of those in the AMA in the meantime, just while I chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
I've got it
course.
here anyway.
I wanna.
You guys aren't going to
Okay,
require
let's.
emails for this, are you?
Nah, 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 nah.
Was that too soon or?
Nah, no, we won't need that. I think so. Yeah, there will be that 25, like I said, for phase one, which is the guaranteed spot. Which will I think it looked like that was a Discord giveaway. I'm gonna see if I can get. It's currently 1 a.m. for me, so that means it's 2 a.m. for guys. So that man's fast asleep. Um, I'm gonna see if I can get another 21 for these listeners real quick, and in the morning when he wakes up. If not, I'm just gonna try get at least half, at least 10, to give away over here. So yeah, there will be 25 for your community for phase one, 50 for phase two, and then yeah, I'll see how many I can get for the AMA. I really dig you guys. You guys are a really really cool team, sick community. Plus, there's a South African homie. We always back those, and we've got a South African hybrid as well. We also back those. So,
Hell yeah.
I'll see what I can do for you guys. Yeah, we just started our wallet collection yesterday or today. Um, kind of lose track of time. So yeah, it kind of gives us an indication of how many we'll have left over at the end of the 2 days, and then we're going to allocate more if there's not enough submitted, etc., etc.
Dope. Well, we appreciate
Yeah,
you.
so yeah, we'll sort you guys out. Long story short.
Definitely
Worries.
appreciate it.
Just jump in the DMs and find out exactly what you guys need from us, and we'll get that cranking for you.
Perfect. That sounds good, man. But I mean, ultimately, this was a really, really enjoyable AMA considering it's 1 a.m. I'm normally so cranky, but you guys have made this really, really cool. So shout out to your team, shout out to your audience. Thanks for sticking around. To you guys, I'll try and make sure I'll put in some effort to try and make sure you guys get rewarded. So please just keep an eye out tomorrow for some pings to either join our Discord to get a role or to something for to submit your wallet. So please, those listeners, just keep an eye out during tomorrow. And yeah, thanks to you guys for hosting me. I appreciate you guys. You guys are absolute legends.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, Postman, we'll do another one. Just catch up with you, see how things are going, and I'm sure
Man,
we'll
for
be in
sure.
touch.
No, we would love to host you guys as well, Postman.
Hell yeah, absolutely, brother. We'll get it set up. So dope. Well, you get some
Sounds
sleep,
sick, man.
man. Thanks for coming out, everybody. We will oh, and anybody who's gonna be online a little bit later, don't forget 9 o'clock Solana ecosystem information and education with Dave from Wise Whales. So if you guys are gonna be awake in there, we'll see you cool cats then. E-man, we'll talk to you real soon and appreciate everybody coming out.
Thanks, brother. Enjoy your day. It's all nice, guys. Keep well.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Later, guys.